Not cesarean. You can't have no C-section, no cesarean section. You can't do none of that because you're stupid. He knocked Rome out. He knocked Rome out in such a way where they did not even know. They still don't know that he knocked them out. They started dying the moment that he rose. They started dying the moment that he rose. And Nero was still walking around killing people. And then here comes Domitian, right? With that name, Domitian. Who would name their child Domitian? Nero is bad. But you gonna name your child Domitian? That's just right ugly. Here come all these people lining their poles with the skins of Christians, right? And they're lighting the torches up underneath it. And you are crying and complaining because you don't want to accept the Jesus. You are an idiot. You know what idiot is, right? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You idiot. Your baby. We want a Messiah that doesn't look like him. We want to come with purple robes. You're so stupid, because if he had come with purple robes on, he wouldn't have been able to do anything, because they would have detected that he got purple robes on. And so what they would have done was they would have targeted him. But instead you target the man, right, that walks around in peace, not realizing they've beaten the real enemy that infiltrated and backed Rome to you. He's beating that enemy out. You don't need freedom from Rome. What you need is freedom from Satan. And you still ain't there. You're still walking in the Hagar of the world. You're still walking as an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian, yeah. And you're walking like it because you're following Joseph, because you think he's the deliverer. Just because they paid 20 for him, right, does not mean that he is the deliverer, right? For I know a man that came about thousands of years after Joseph, and he had to undo what Joseph did just to rescue you. I know a man, and I think Joseph and Jesus' name means similar things. But this man ain't no carpenter. He may be a carpenter by trade, but he's a life giver by divinity, by deity. Hallelujah. He's under cover of carpentry. See, Jesus came under the right cover. You wanted to cover him with purple robes. He didn't come in purple robes. Oh no, we're so stupid. We can't get over it. So if he had come in purple robes, what would you have done? You still would have denied him, because he would come in purple robes and still would have been healing people. You don't like the fact that he's helping people. That's what it is. You don't want him to help people in a different social class, or what you consider underneath you. And here's how I know. I'll tell you exactly how I know. Ready? Yes. I said, David Lewis, if I get hit by a car, I told him this like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I said, if I get hit by a car, and somebody better come and wait on me, waiting for me to like be dying, and then as I'm fading away, right? And as I'm calling on I'm God, right? As I'm fading away, come and finish my sentence. Why do I say that? Because they took out all the vowels. And so while me, if I get hit by a car, I mean, my lip may die first. My bottom lip may die first. So it may be real hard for me to say, because they want us to say, it was to figure out. We'll put the consonants there, and you figure out what vowels go there. So they want us to figure out how YHWH is supposed to sound, right? So they take all the vowels out, so you cannot say it. What happens if you take the vowels out of my name? I got more vowels in my name than consonants. So what happens if you take the vowels out? You get Jim. But check this out. You don't know who you're talking to. Because you get Jim with Jamie. You get Jim with Jamie Lee Curtis. You get Jim with Jim Belushi, right? You get Jim with Jamaica. I don't know, not Jamaica. But do you get what I'm saying? I could be calling on anybody, right? But I'm dying in the street. But you don't want me to know who Yahweh is. So I'm dying in the street, right? So I got to figure out what your God name is. We freely told you Jesus. He's a Emmanuel. He's a counselor. He's a Prince of Peace. Jesus. He's a mighty healer. He's a mighty good God. Jesus, we freely gave it to you, but you take Yahweh away from us. You try to take God away from us, and He came in this world and He gave Yahweh back, and that upsets you because He didn't come to give Yahweh to you. He gave Yahweh to the masses. He gave Yahweh to the people that were dying, right? Jesus, He gave Yahweh to people that really wanted Yahweh, gave them a connection to Him. Jesus came to be our connection to God, and what you want to do is take the vowels out of their name. Take Jehovah out of the Bible and take the vowels out of Yahweh, right? Because you ain't got nothing else to do but scroll. Oh, God. Don't touch and don't trust. What's that man named? Knuckleburgers, Suckerburgers, Mike Bubble Burgers. Don't trust them, right? Anybody that's got involved in the scrollings of the world, the antisocial social media. This is social media, right? This is social media that's meant to put me into my phone, so much so that I don't know what's going on around me, and I'll be into my phone more than I'm associating myself with society around me, right? It's antisocial social media. They make you antisocial to the world and antisocial to those around you that love you by making you social with lies and stupidity. Half the stuff you see on there is lies anyway. Jesus! But he ain't lying to you. He's the way, the truth, and the light, isn't he? Well, you can answer how you want. I ain't asking you. I don't care what you think. But Jesus! It could have about glory, 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 glory. Glory be to God. Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. And yet, didn't he do it? Jesus. Don't get caught up in the enemy's lies. Jesus. Paul, Pharaoh said, I want you to stay here and do it for me. So Joseph stayed. He never left. His goal the entire time was to get back to his family. Well, even once Joseph left his father's house with that coat on, then he ended up in a pit. Then he ended up in a convoy. They call it convoy, right? Then he was chained in the convoy, right? Then he ended up getting sold to Potiphar, right? Then he ended up working for Potiphar. Then he ended up getting I don't know what she did to him, molested him and lied on him. But she did a Potiphar. He's in Potiphar's house, but Potiphar, H-O-T, Potiphar, came after him, right? And then she got some onions, some leeks and some onions. Then she had leeks and onions, right? Because her eyes was leaking from the onions that she got to make herself cry. And you won't let the onions and leeks go. Wasn't that what they were complaining about when they were in Egypt? Well, let's go back. We had leeks and onions in Egypt. You also had Potiphar, who lied on you. She cut up an onion and she started and made her cry. So I said, oh yeah, I get it, because her eyes was leaking from the onions that she was cutting up. Jesus. So he went from there to prison, met the cupbearer and the baker, came out, talked to the Pharaoh about his dream, ended up in a storehouse, and up until that point, up until he puts the ring on, his goal is to get back to his family. Once he puts the ring on, it changes his mindset. You put on Satan's ring, it will always change the way you think. Change his mindset, change how he thought about the situation. Because he went immediately from, oh, we got to get back to my father and my brothers, to, I guess I could stay a while. I like the way she looked. Wait, I don't need to be called Joseph no more. Call me Aspen, 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 but there, call me that. Pharaoh gave him that name. He didn't give himself that name. Jesus, but you answer to it. You can't change my name. The thing is, I don't like my name. I've never liked my name. I just never liked it. But you can't change my name. I don't like Janie. Who likes Janie? Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. We took a vote. We don't like your name. Oh. Need another vote? Because I'm with you. People would get mad at me because I would always side with them against me. Jesus. I don't like my name. But even if I don't like my name, for me to let you change it, and then here's the thing, you could change it to whatever you want, because Lois called me stupid every day. She called me stupid as if that was my name. Stupid! She did. Don't be sad about it. It happened. So I'll respond to it. It's one thing for you to change my name, but it's another thing for me to respond to it. Respond to your changes. I made an update. I made an addendum to your name. Okay. That's my identity, isn't it? So if you change my name, you have to change who I serve. You have to change who I identify with. And if I identify to God through Jesus Christ, then he is no longer my kinsman redeemer. You are, because you changed my name. But okay. Because Joseph wasn't really thinking that way. That's just the dangers of letting someone put their ring on you. Because once I take off my ring and put it on you, I marry you. And Joseph was still a man of God, but he was married to the Pharaoh. Well, Haman. Did it happen to him too? Ahasuerus got upset at Vashti because Vashti wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. So what Ahasuerus did was he got him another queen. Jesus. But it's hard for you to bring a godly queen into your palace if you're still laid up with a horror. You laid up with a horror, a Gomer. You laid up with that, a Haman. Never put your ring on anybody else. Just don't. Without consulting God. Pharaoh put his ring on Joseph, and that was dangerous. Because his descendant that came from him years down the road was going to die because he put his ring on a man of God. You are in slavery. You can't put your 10 ring on my gold desiring body. You are slavery. You are Egypt. Jesus. Ahasuerus got mad at Vashti and said, okay, I need another queen. He said, what can be done to Vashti, Queen Vashti, for what she has done to King Ahasuerus? That's when I knew he was serious. He was King Ahasuerus then for me. Because he started talking about himself in third person. You don't do that when you're serious about a situation. You're serious. No. I said, he's still going to help her. I thought she was probably down at the day's end. Like when Esther got in there, she was probably down at the day's end. But the funny thing is, if Esther joined the harem and he chose her, right, she was locked in. If he chose her, she was locked into doing queenly things. She was locked into doing what she's doing. She just could not quit. She couldn't just get up and quit. And what we realized that or not, Esther was a Hebrew, but she was also undercover. Because Mordecai charged her with not telling anybody about who she was. Also, she was undercover again. The Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. But Esther was undercover again. She was working and acting under the cover, under the guise of all of Vashti's sins. The Bible says when Vashti did what she did to Ahasuerus, he got angry and furious. So he started putting rules and things into place to protect him so that he could do what can be done to Queen Vashti for what she did to King Ahasuerus. Not much could be done. So I think that's why he started putting things into practice. So Esther went up until the point where the Haman was like, okay, I want to really take the Hebrews out, right? I want to come at them on the 13th day of the 12th month. That's Adars. I want some Adars. We don't want no Hagars anymore. That's chocolate. We don't like that. We want some Adars. That's Adar. That's the month. Adars. Not Hagars. Adars. Some weird names. These are weird names. I guess because they're Persian. I don't know. Not that Persian people have weird names, but I think the names that are brought up in the part of the Bible that talk about Persian people and Egyptian people are weird. Like Hagars, come on. Adars, and wait, Israelites ain't no better. Ahithophel. That's the what? Hushai. What kind of name is that? Y'all supposed to be wise advisors, and y'all got names that are like, wow, too much. And we will call you H. That's it. And we call you A. Now, if I want you, here's what you will hear. I'm not saying Ahithophel every time. I'm not saying it. It's too much. That's grandstanding. That's just too much. That's grandstanding. That's extravaganza. That's Ahithophel extravaganza. You don't need that much name. Who need that much name? You need 5 letters for your name. That's it. I'm saying it because Jamie. You don't need 5. What you need? You don't need all that. You really need all of that? Ahithophel. It's funny. What wasn't funny was how Ahasuerus reacted. So he ended up after he put his ring on the wrong woman and did not make sure that the rules were in place that would cause him to be respected as a king, he got upset because he could not do more to her for her making him so angry. After she left the palace, he said, another one ain't going to do this to me. So what he did was put in a whole bunch of rules. But the thing is, he didn't realize he didn't need that many rules for her because she would love him the way he was supposed to be loved, right? So Esther really she was on his team. So much so that he was protected from a assassination plot. From, here we go, Bigthan and Teresh. Bigthan. Yes, Bigthan. That's what I said. You mean bigger than? No, Bigthan. Bigger than what? Bigthan. That's name was Bigthan. Bigthan. And Teresh. You mean Teresa? No, Teresh. Woo! Such names, just names. Y'all got names. Y'all got a lot of names. Y'all full of names. So Mordecai protected him from Bigthan and Teresh, but Mordecai was who? Esther's cousin. A big cousin, raised her. So the king comes and he puts his ring on Esther, right? He chooses Esther, puts his ring on Esther, and he's got the right one, the right queen. The only thing is his advisor, Haman. Haman used to leave every day, right? And he would go drive up, ride, I won't say drive, but ride up and down the street on his horse. And while he was on his horse, ride up and down the street, that people were supposed to bow to him. And the Israelites did not bow to anybody but God. Even while they were in exile, they did not bow to anybody but God. So Mordecai worked on the palace steps, but he would never bow. And once more, Haman found out, who is this man that will not bow to me? They told him, hey, that's Mordecai, but he is an Israelite. He does not bow. They do not bow to any God but their own. And that's when he said, oh yeah, but they will. And he started plotting and making a plan to kill Mordecai. Now, this is why I know that it was not done behind closed doors, because it gets a little deep. When Mordecai does what he does in saving the king from Bigthan and Teresh, God sees, I'm telling you this was God. God sees fit to have that to be unrewarded until God could use it for his glory. So the whole thing that Mordecai did was not rewarded. It was written down in this book. They kept a book, and I think they called them annals, but they wrote it down in the book, and it was there, but he was never rewarded for it. So when the right time was come, sometimes it's not that God is not going to reward you, but you have to wait for the right time to come. When the fullness of time came, they were waiting for Jesus for years and years and years. And then there were 400, what they call silent years. God was not silent. They just weren't listening. God speaks in everything. They just weren't listening. But they said it was 400 silent years. Maybe just wasn't a prophet around talking to them all the time. But God was not God, because God does not go silent. God says, what the Bible says, my sheep hear my voice, another one they will not follow. Therefore, God was talking, they just was not listening. So it was 400, what they call silent years, and then Jesus shows up on the scene. Now, so God, it has to be a fullness of time. Time has to be fulfilled and filled and fulfilled for you to get what you need. If you get it too soon, it will be aborted. If you get it too late, it will be miscarried. You have to wait for God to bring it in his own time. And there's something about a miscarriage, because what God just showed me is that a baby can miscarry, right? Even if it's fully grown, you can give birth to a miscarried baby. The baby just born dead. It's DOA, dead on arrival. Did anything go wrong with the delivery? Did the doctor do something wrong? No, it's just dead on arrival. It could be that it just died and they just did not sense it, right? Or when they were running a test on you, they did not check for the heartbeat, or maybe they got a heartbeat and did not realize maybe it was your own, and they did not realize that it was the right type of heartbeat, and you could miscarry, right? So thinking, this is my gift, I'm supposed to show this forth to get God glory. Not yet. Because if you show too soon, you will abort it. If you show too late, right? If I show too late, see, that happens. You know what happens? We have ectopic pregnancy. You show too late. And so you show too late for prenatal vitamins. You show too late for them to check up on you. Because if they check up on you and find an ectopic pregnancy, they will deliver the baby early to save both of you. But if they don't deliver the baby early, you go a full 9-month term, there's chances are you will not live. So you can deliver You can start showing after you deliver. See, understand? After your delivery date, let's say, you can start showing. But this thing with Mordecai, this big Dan and Teresh thing, God used it what? To buy Mordecai time. Because what had to happen was it had to be a perfect storm. As I said, Jesus my storm, and I love it because it has to be sometimes it has to be a perfect storm because God will use I'm telling you, I've seen it recently. God will use the very thing that the enemy does to you to redeem you and to vindicate you. God will use it. Use it. As long as you're open to it. What happened? Oh yeah, God brought me out and I did not even realize it. The enemy will step all over himself. God showed me. I've seen it happen with myself a lot. When I let God do it, then the enemy will step on himself. I don't have to get up and step on the actual enemy. He steps on himself because he's stupid. And anybody that listens to listens to the enemy, takes the ID out of Jesus Christ, the identity out of Jesus Christ, and walks in the stupid, the blatantly stupid. Why would you put that there? You did something so blatantly stupid. And heaven saw you. They recorded it. You think nobody else saw you put it in my folder, but heaven saw you. You should have kept it. You think, oh yeah, I'm going to do this to hurt her. I'm going to do it to hurt her. I make sure I slice her open. And it did. It did. But I'm going to get rewarded. If nobody helps you or stops you, you're going to end up in hell. That's what's going to happen. Because heaven sees me and my motives. Everything with heaven and hell is all about motives. Because we all make mistakes doing things. And if I got rewarded paying for everything that I did, I'm actually not smart enough to have motives. If I got rewarded paying for everything that I did, I would be a woman most miserable. I'm never really trying to beat anybody down. But I make a lot of mistakes. So if I got rewarded based on what I did, based on what's seen, then I'd be a woman most miserable. But I get rewarded based on my motives. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. If you don't do it, you're going to end up hanging. You're going to hang on something. Just won't be what you want to hang from. With Mordecai, he had saved the king with his assassination plot. He heard Big Dan and Teresh talking and he risked his life. He told somebody to tell Esther that what was going on. So he passed it through somebody else. And anything could have happened. But she told the king. And the two men were caught and killed. And it was written down in the book, but Mordecai was not rewarded for it. So you know what Mordecai did? He got up, he started throwing a tantrum and throwing stuff at people and trying to hurt people in the church and trying to hurt people at the job, and he started doing things just to hurt people. Spitting on people. he just started throwing pumpkins at people because it's about to be your Halloweens, your halls of the wings. So he started spitting at people. No. He sat down on the palace steps and did his work. He did some work. Some work. Sometimes revel in the fact that I know they owe me. Sometimes revel in the fact I know they love me. Sometimes revel in the fact I know God's going to talk to them about me and they're going to want to give me grace. Sometimes revel in the fact that I know that they said we're going to go out to dinner next week and they said they're going to buy me a steak. They owe me a steak. Even I bought them pancakes, they owe me a steak. Sometimes revel. And you're not reveling in what they owe you. You're reveling in the fact that love will be extended back to you because you gave love freely. You know you've got love coming. And I may not have love coming exactly from you. I may have it coming from somebody else. But God knows just how to reward what I do. Big Dan and Teresh got their reward. Their award and their reward. Part about that I love more than anything is that heaven sees. I don't need to say anything. Something did happen, and I felt so insecure and unsafe. I told my dad figure I couldn't help it. I mean, him and Andrea are the only ones I trust. Because to be honest with you, you can be in a room with a bunch of people, and people would rather punish you for what they know other people are doing to you. It's happened to me before. And it's happened to me here. They'll know that person's doing something wrong, and they will put me in a category with that person and punish me right alongside with the punishment that person's receiving, when they know that what you see from me is nowhere near to what that person's been doing, because everybody has been complaining about the Big Than and Teresh of your life.